Hi guys, Taxi Dream here. I'm just gonna jump into my other video. I just got done recording my first line video for non-tablet users. So now it's time to do one for the tablet users and everything else. So this will probably be a little bit faster just because it's not really a lot to explain or anything. I mean, I know when I started doing my line finally started picking up my tablet to line, I just started doing the thing with it and everything else. I was really iffy about it at first. I really did, I really thought, I'm never gonna be able to, I'm gonna keep my lines that I did on my other video just to kind of do guidelines. But, I really thought, I'm never gonna be able to really get a steady hand to do lines and everything else. Like, it could take me forever, and I'm never gonna be able to do that. But, I just end up picking up my lines and, picking up my tablet and just did it. And it was actually pretty easy and everything else. And it wasn't so bad as I thought. So, that's really all the advice I can give if you're afraid to actually line with your tablet. Just to pick up your pen and tablet and go. But, as you can probably see that I have a line art layer, or brush and everything. So, you can probably do this with any brush you want and everything. But I already have made a brush specifically for my stuff. And um, and I will be lining in black just because I do different colors later on and everything else. But if I line in a different color, it will be weird. So as you can see, that is clearly not the color I was using. Yeah. So yeah, very different colors. So because I have different settings and everything else for it, and um, yeah. So yeah, I have it set on multi-layer instead of normal, and that's why it does that and everything to that effect. And I don't know why I have it, but I just did, and I just kind of kept it that way. But yeah, I'll just get started and everything else, and we'll work the magic. You can honestly line any color you want. Some people like to have their colors line in different colors and everything. Some people don't and everything else. Like I said, I end up changing the whole color at the end anyways. But I end up changing the whole line instead of the different lines. So it's not a huge deal to me. So, but yeah. Um, I if you want to sit here and talk about oh, what brush size should I use, whatever, it's honestly doesn't really matter. It's your preference and everything else. And lining takes, to me anyways, it's a lot of undoing and redoing and everything else. And it's just one of those things where, yeah. If you, in this video, you see me a lot doing you see me undo, redo, redo. I don't like it this way, I'm gonna redo it. I like it the other way, redo it. And that's just how it kinda is. And yeah, I mean, it's totally normal. A lot of people probably do it. I mean, I don't know. I watch people on YouTube and they don't really undo a lot on YouTube, but they probably have a lot of practice, more than I ever have. So it would make sense if they don't do that. But to me, I think it's normal. I get the job done nonetheless, so I'm not really too worried about it. And so, I mean, like I said, I mean, this is pretty much how rhyming is to me. Is that it's a lot of undoing, it's a lot of redoing, it's a lot of figuring out what you want to do, and everything else. And as you can see, I'm just doing everything in kind of like strokes. Um, talk about how to like, oh well, I'm not gonna have like a steady hand for that, or like my tablet's not working. You probably want to change your stabilizer. Usually when size starts out, it's like way up here, the 0, 1, 2, 3. If you have it up there, your pen is probably gonna track your strokes a lot better, or you won't have that lag. And it sounds weird. Usually you don't want lag on anything, but you want lag when you draw. Like, so you can have a little bit more control and everything else when you're drawing. So if you move it down the scale, like right now I have it on 15. Some people, most artists has it on like the S's, like S3 is the most common. I had on my like that on my other tablet, but I had to change it just because it was too far off for me. But most people have it on S3, and that's works for them. But you just gotta play with it and find out what you're comfortable with, and that should be good. And I also kind of like lining with my tablet too now, just because it kind of can be a lot more faster than sitting there trying to. I mean, it takes a lot of undoing, redoing, and everything else, but it's not as like, I guess, I don't want to say tedious, but like, you know, sometimes it's like I can do things a lot faster with lining with my tablet rather than like sitting there and trying to line everything and all that stuff. I already have stuff done and everything. So I don't really have a preference. I mean, I've been lining with my tablet since I got used to it now. So I guess my preference is my tablet now, just to get kind of used to it and everything. But I don't have like, I would say if I switch back to, I just did that video for like lining, and it was like I have to do this now. It's a little bit different, and I feel like if I was lining with tablet, probably go a lot faster. But yeah. So I mean, it's not a totally huge deal. Get lost in track, lost in thought. And I don't like. Usually I line in layers too. With my tablet, I don't, just because I don't really have to and everything. So that's always kind of nice too, is that I don't really have to line in layers and take the time to do that. It's always good to make points. As you can see, I have this like point here and everything. Just because if you want to make, if you're having trouble with long strokes and you just can't seem to do it like that, make a point. Like do it halfway and everything, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then you could just do it. You don't have to make it edge long. You see how I stopped up there? Or like bring it from another direction. And if it doesn't like meet up exactly like it should, you can always zoom in and make it correct. So that's always nice. There. Sorry about that. I stopped for a bit just to reply to messages and stuff. But the only thing that when you're writing with a tablet instead of your instead of like the line work layer is that uh I know some artists can do it is like having them bright and everything. I haven't yet to do like I mean I know sometimes artists just like erase them and make them all thin out and everything. Kinda like there we go. So I was working for a second, kinda like that, but not near obviously. It makes it all thin out. Um that's like a lot easier with the line work layer instead of with your tablet and everything. So that's something. But I mean, I think that's like a very small flaw, I guess you could say, for lining with your tablet instead of the line work layer. Or sometimes like people will stop and do that type of deal. So I kind of did. I don't know. I'm not good at it. I don't think. I don't know what I'm doing. But uh, that's one of the things. And the nice thing about writing with your tablet too is that when you do like hair things, it kind of makes it look more flowy too. At the end, you kind of do your textures without like having to wait at the very end because then you don't have to really. There's some people that want to do all their little lines while doing their line work later, and like as you can see for my line work later, it's very simple. And it's very like, I didn't really add a lot of stuff other than like here, But I mean, I also add some things like that too. But you know, you can add a little bit more stuff to that and everything else too. So I don't know. Just kind of think it makes it a little bit easier with your tablet to do that. Oops, I ended up erasing it. That's why I end up having a bigger brush. But yeah, and I think it's a little bit more nicer per se if you have your tablet. And I think it's like everything flows a lot better because you're like drawing. You don't have to sit there and try to like make everything kind of I wouldn't say boring, but everything's so bland, when you're writing and everything. And I don't know where I heard it from. Um, there was I think I heard it. I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be something. But I mean, I know someone was telling me, I believe, that because I line with my with my line work later, that sometimes the lines seem less lifelike, and it seemed very boringish. Which at first I was like, I could technically do any line you can, so I was like, please don't judge. I'm doing the best I can with what I'm comfortable with and everything else. So that was the case. But yeah, I can kind of understand now is that before, like, when I was running with my the thing, I could get at this curve and get at this type of deal. But now, because I'm running with the tablet, I'm a little bit more comfortable, and I'm just kind of flicking my wrists in a little bit more, and it just adds a little bit more style, adds a little bit more life to it. While with when you're writing, you're not getting that. And I understand not everybody gets to do that with a tablet. Not everybody has a tablet, so it's understandable. So, but yeah. Either way, though, I mean, either if you line with a tablet or without a tablet, or even if you still have a tablet and you still line without your tablet, whatever you're comfortable with at that time, you just keep doing you. And one of those days where if you want to try and do it without your tablet or whatever, by all means. I hope it all goes well. I mean, like, you'll burst out of your shell sooner or later. Like, and it's gonna be great, and then you're gonna be like, probably gonna be like me, and be like, why did I start this sooner? This is so easy. Because that's exactly what I thought. I was like, bro, I just need to pick up my tablet and try, and that's all I need to do. And it kind of like frustrates me sometimes because I was like, it makes me wonder how many people are like, I can't do this. And it's like, because that's exactly what I was saying, that I couldn't do it. But I didn't really take the time to learn it. And that was my issue. And I could just picked up my tablet, did it, and it would have been totally fine. Would have been, yeah. I mean, so it just kind of makes me think about when I help people are like, I can't do it, and I just sit here and say, try. Honestly, try. I can't emphasize enough. You just have to try. It's all you can do. Just try. And even if you fail, just keep trying. It's all you can do. Because you're really no such thing as like anything bad. Is because everything you do is like an improvement. Like, at least to me, that's how my outlook on it. Like, every piece of art, every little thing you do, every doodle, everything is an improvement. And so, there's no bad thing. So, like, even if you do the most ugliest thing in the world, there's somebody out there that's gonna love it and gonna want that. So it's like, is there really uh, a bad painting in the world? No, not really. It's just like everything you do is an improvement to your work. So don't give up. Don't keep, don't, don't keep trying. Good words, Amanda. Uh, don't give up. Just keep doing what you're doing and keep going with everything you got, and just if you love it, if you enjoy it, you got it. Just keep doing it. It's all you can do. Like, I love creating, I love coloring, I love doing this, I love helping people, and like, I would probably do it till the end of time. I don't see myself not doing it, if that makes sense. And like, I never want to stop. So, I mean, like, I always want to get better. I mean, if I ever did stop, I would never probably do half the stuff I did or have done. So, I mean, like, you just, yeah, just keep going. I'm not probably not be very helpful, like, knowing how to lie and everything else. But, what I'm doing here is, like, you can see me kind of doing some strokes. These would be kind of hard, and they're not like, okay, obviously they're not like super perfect and not like clean, beautiful as you could probably see in like some other videos. I could sit here and make them super clean and less wobbly and everything else too. But I know when it comes down to it, when I zoom all out and everything, all these little wobbles are not gonna really matter. So, I mean, they might be a little visible, but it's not gonna be a huge deal. Plus, the person I'm doing it for is not like they're not gonna judge me based on their outline. So, and that's kind of another thing too is that like if you sit there and try and make everything so perfect, then I don't know, I don't want to say you're wasting time, but like take a moment to think about it. It's like this person really gonna sit here and judge me for this. This person really gonna like sit here and like say they want it all redone just because these lines are not perfect. And it's also like too, and I'll show you in a bit. When I zoom back out, you gotta think this thing will be like this big. I mean, cast it here, but you're not gonna really see how wobbly these lines are. I mean, you see it, like I said, you can see it here, but I mean, that's about it. I mean, you can clean up everything else too. It's probably because I would too zoom in. If you're too zoomed in and you try to do stuff, you can tend to do smaller strokes, and then that's why I probably end up doing that. If you do everything in one long stroke, as you can see, I'm doing a lot better when I'm zoomed out now. Sure, I'm making little curls, but I can always clean those up a little bit. And I think to me, it's a lot easier to go back and clean it up than try to like, make every little line perfect and connect and everything else. If it's a little thicker, I don't think it's a big deal, just because I think that's okay. Everything, like I don't think that's weird at all. I think, like I said, I think that's pretty normal. So, I mean, I guess if you honestly don't like it, you can always trim it down with your eraser. So, but I almost forgot the arm right here. But, yeah, I mean, uh, yeah, I mean, as you see, it coming out pretty nicely and everything. It doesn't take long, especially with like the chippies and everything. On the eyes, I usually do them on a separate layer because then I could just copy and flip and everything else. Not everybody likes that. I mean, I don't know. Some people might find that cheap, but oh well. I usually do a bigger brush, and then uh, I outline them like you see like that. I usually do because that brush will give me that point anyways. I usually try to do an eyelash with the brush. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do this, so I may just end up coloring in. Don't really want to, but I may do anyways. I mean, you can always mix them around too. If you feel like, okay, I can't really get this right and everything. And boy, eyelashes are so hard for me and everything. I'm so much better at girl eyelashes. But, if, you want to mix them together, like do the eye on the line work layer, and then turn around and just color it on a different layer, by all means, whatever you want to get done. Like, there's no party foul in art, man. So, yeah, I don't really like doing guys' eyes just because to me they're a pain in the ass. As you probably tell, and most of you know that I do have a son and everything, and he's actually asleep right now. So it's all quiet, and you don't have to even listen to the TV in the background. So that's always kind of nice. I could have selected that and probably colored it in, and that probably would turn out a hell of a lot better. But why would I ever take the easy route? Why would that ever be a thing? But, so that's one eye. And then, just do the eye itself. And, like, the other thing, too, is that, like, OGs, they're not, like, 100% matching, as you can see, from my sketch to my line to my line lean. They're all different. That's totally okay. You don't have to match. That doesn't have to be a thing. So, I mean, if you want to match, you could, but then you're just going to sit there forever freaking day trying to get everything to match, and that might be a little bit annoying, but you don't have to match. I personally don't like the whole over the eye style, like over the hairstyle, so I would put it behind the eye. But that is just me. And now I do the eyebrows, which I also do a bigger brush for. And see that one behind the hair, I'm just gonna do. Let me see. Get it a little bit bigger. And they don't have this, but I mean, I kind of feel like for a guy, it just kind of looks badass that way. But and perfecto. I have my line work layer or my line and everything. And I always double check to make sure that everything, because I use the one to color and everything, so I always double check to make sure all of my lines are closed. So then when I go in to select everything, that it's not going to be a big issue later on. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much lining. I mean, I know I may not be a huge help. I mean, I know I kind of gibber on and blabbered about other things. But I mean, honestly, picking up a pen and just going over a sketch and not really tracing it, but I mean, like, doing, even if you do it, like, line work and the sketch and everything else, like, not all of these all match up and everything. So, like, that's